We're getting everybody involved. Drainage. Well, it's Saturday, weekend before Halloween. Did a little work on the front porch here. Krista came over here and got all the dirt tilled up and raked up, so we got the grade right against the house. You can see here all the water will run away from the house now, even underneath the porch. It's all backfilled. I started putting some of the decking on. You can see eventually how the 2x8 is going to go on the front here, and then I'm going to wrap the whole thing with 2x10s. So there'll be triple beams on the front header here, and that will be because we got about a 10-foot span, about 9 feet span, and I just want to triple it up so there's never any sagging. And you can see how I've got it flashed up against the house. I put some metal flashing behind the board itself, and then I attached the board to the house. I still got to put the ledger lock bolts in. But then I put the ledger board flashing, which is that white flashing right there, over top, and that way if any water gets, well, water will get behind the siding at this point on the decking, it'll hit that and just kind of run down the ledger board and drip onto the ground, so no problems whatsoever. The last thing to do is just tie-back tape that to the house. The door, I took the door out to put that ledger flashing in, and you can see that I got some metal there behind. That metal wraps around inside the door frame, and then that ledger flashing actually tucks up underneath the door, so everything's taped and sealed up tight, and it's all flashed using metal and that tie-back tape. And then when I finally do a final seal in for that door with caulk and some great stuff, expanding foam, it'll be watertight and airtight. So we're getting there. The stairs will be right there. We're going to pour a sidewalk out to the old sidewalk, making slow but steady progress. And you can kind of see what the front of this house is going to look like. I do have that porch on about a 1-inch slope, just to stop anything from running in towards the house. The deck boards running this way, the water's not going to run off the edge of the porch with the slope like that, but it will stop anything from running towards the house at least. So I could have ran the deck boards the other direction, but it would have cost a lot more in materials, and this is just as effective. There's going to be lattice wrapped around underneath the porch, so any water getting underneath there will evaporate. No problem whatsoever. And it's high enough to where you can still get underneath and inspect for termites. So it is coming there, or it is coming. Looking good. Okay, it's November 15th now, and I finally did some more work over here. You can see we got all the porch joists in, and I started putting some of the decking down. Nice 45 cut there. They're going to do that all the way down towards the house. Got the joist hangers on the side attached to the house, and then the side out here I butt nailed them all, so no need for joist hangers. But this is going to be a very nice looking wraparound porch here. I think I'm going to wrap that bottom part with aluminum as well, and then yeah, Yep, very clean looking. Put the lattice around the bottom to keep the leaves and trash from blowing underneath it, but we've decided to go ahead and replace the windows on the 45 on this portion over here. So you can see where I've kind of paused the plywood up the wall here, so I'm going to tear the rest of that little bit off there. We'll tear all this out. I found some pretty decent amount of rotted wood on the sill underneath that side where that brick is taken out, so a little more rotted wood repair to do there. And then all new windows on the 45. We'll have that door moved over. The windows just came in yesterday, so we're ready to tear this out. I just wanted to get the porch a little farther along today, so tomorrow I might I'll finish the decking tomorrow, and then we'll come and next weekend probably tear all this out and new plywood, replace a few of the studs there that are rotten down towards the bottom, and then put the new windows in. And then that will wrap up all the exterior stuff, and we can side it. The siding's been sitting here for a couple months, so we can finally get to the siding. And I think this house is just going to be absolutely beautiful once the siding is on it. You see the nice wraparound porch. I'll get a back up a little bit here so we can get a good view of it. Yep. It's going to be a very pretty house. Say hi to Krista. I am just finishing up the decking here. You can see some of the pieces still aren't screwed down, and I kind of just wanted to give you a little tutorial here on how I straighten the boards. So you can see the ratchet strap there, and this board's got a pretty good amount of warp to it. I've got a few of them just laying here not screwed down yet, so my plan is I put a few in place, and then I get a ratchet strap on it, straighten them up, and then I kind of eyeball to make sure the lines look pretty straight and adjust the gap as needed, because these boards, when they pressure treat them, they're not all the same width, and when they dry they will shrink and there will be gaps. So the goal is to make sure that the gaps are about equal all the way around, and to do that you just make sure when you put them down that they're straight. So now when we ratchet this, you can see that it pulls it in nice and tight. And this is a pretty good long ratchet strap. Doesn't need to be that burly. I got some smaller ones that I use as well. And now you can see it's closing all the gaps in all of them. They do make tools to do this, but a really large deck, you can just put multiple ratchet straps together and do it. So it's a really handy technique. You can see we're fairly straight all the way down. Had to make some compromises here and there, but it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. Along the house there, the gap is sort of close. You can see in the middle there it gets a little fatter, and really it's just because the luck of the draw. When I put the boards down, they were a little fatter right in the middle here. You can see a gap. It's a little fatter. Or that one board was a little wider than the other one. So we're just about done. Going to wrap up this porch, and then the next step will be to tear these walls out and replace the windows. So frame for the new windows. There's quite a bit of rotted damage on this 6x6 down here, so I'm going to replace that and then put the new windows in on these 45s. And once that is done, I will be ready to wrap all the soffit with aluminum and the front porch. Oh, we got to move that door over as well when I do those. You can see I still have a couple block out. Those are out on purpose just while I finish up underneath here. I may have to jack and level some more here once we tear these walls out and I see what's going on under there. But one little piece of wood left to put in there as well. Then we soffit everything. I've decided to tear that old wooden lap board off the ceiling there and just put the vinyl soffit up. When I take that off, I can plywood the outside walls that's missing plywood where they built a roof for the porch. So then the house will be airtight as well insulated. Everything will be wrapped. There'll be nothing to paint, and that's a maintenance-free home. mostly maintenance free. This deck is, I'm going to wrap the 6x6s and have a vinyl handrail, but the deck itself will have to be either stained or water treated. I'll probably do a solid stain on it, a nice red, barn red solid stain. Looks pretty good. But the last thing to do on the exterior will be the gables. I'm going to put those off until we get all the siding up, and then I'll do that. Getting there.